Right.
So do the usual. Well, I mean, I don't even have to push to talk for that bit, so you're not going to hear the good morning to everybody bit. I can just do that without push to talking. And say, good morning everybody, if you've joined me in the stream, we're going to play some D&D tonight. A little one-shot that I wrote for our beginning
Whenever you have that
into
link
Crown of the
for the
Oathbreaker.
stream, just drop it in chat or something.
Ah, yep, and as I remember being reminded, I should drop a link in. Just going to go up to here. I'm just going to use the one I gave to Nick last night, because that'll be easier. Sorry about that. Alright, so tonight's one shot, as we've discussed, starts in Kryn, where you are all from. It is somewhere in the 5 years before the War of the Lance. If that doesn't mean anything to you, that's cool. I think most of you will have at least read something to understand where that's coming from by now. Yes, no?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had the music up too high to hear you.
Yeah.
I was just saying that you would have read some background on Kryn by now to get kind of the period we're in, or not?
Yeah,
A little
already
bit.
know.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
Um,
definitely read about
so
the Queen.
I assume that everybody's a Dragonlance fan. Like, that's just my starting position, because they should be. Because it's awesome. Alright, so...
I would definitely.
You are all at the moment in a small town called Crossing, which is on the northernmost coast of Abananasia, which I've never known how to pronounce, but that's my... I think it's like banana. Abananasia. There you go.
Good.
For various reasons. You find yourself, as most do at the beginning of an adventure, inside an inn. I'm going to add you all to the map and huddle you on there. How do I do this again? It's been a week or two, so I've forgotten. There we go. Huddling characters. Now, right now you're not necessarily in the same spot. You are in the inn, but don't necessarily know each other as yet. And I'm just changing music now to the inn music.
That's nice music.
This is not an empty
Whoa,
inn.
people.
Yes, this is not an empty inn. This is a... so I'm looking for one of you in particular, which would be Baron. I'm going to put you, Baron, up by yourself for now.
Alrighty.
The rest of you are around drinking and everything and doing your thing. A couple of bartenders serving drinks, a little bit of background noise. Some guy, that apple, remember the apple seller? He's back. Down in the bottom left, right corner there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him.
Alright, so before we get started, I will have everybody go around and we'll start. I'm going to start with Magnus and describe what you want everybody else to know about your character. You don't have to give the entire history of your character.
Sure. Simply, I'm Magnus Demko. My character is a bit of a merc for hire. Primarily does security. Right now, he's just finished up a gig, and he's just looking for the next opportunity that fancies him.
Alright, thank you. We will go with Tobith.
Hi everyone, I'm Tobith Copperknot, no relation to the other Copperknots unless you got my spoons. And as I say, I'm Tobith, and I've been called Worths, especially by some rocks.
Thank you. Perfect, Kenda. Ulrich.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ulrich Firebrand. I am clearly wearing the vestments of a Knight of Salamina, particularly the Knight of the Rose, order. And I am currently awaiting for the next assignment, but I'm taking a much-needed break and some R&R before that. So here I am in this lovely little tavern, enjoying some spirits. Thank you very much.
Next, Baron.
You guys would see Baron as a beefier than normal dwarf, and he's probably just sitting back here, kicking back, looking over some notes. And he's a very classic, traditional dwarf. You know, he forged for years. He's a blacksmith, and yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about him.
You're going to know a little bit more in a second, but we'll get to that. And finally, Finley.
Finley's a young ranger. He's very much a man of the forest. Simple. He comes from a farming background. Quite straightforward. But if he's got a problem, he'll let it be known.
Alrighty. So you find yourselves gathered in this inn, which it didn't give a name to, so we'll call it the Mended Drum, because you can beat it. Which, if you're a Terry Pratchett fan, that will make sense. If not, it won't. So Tobith, Ulrich, Baron, and Finley, you actually saw posted on the door of this inn before you came in tonight a little sign that said there was a dwarf named Baron, a member of the Seekers, that was seeking adventurers and mercenaries to aid him in a specific assignment. And you're all aware enough to notice the dwarf in some form of Seeker's robe sitting at the back of the room, shuffling through his papers and scribbling stuff down and kind of ignoring everything while the rest of the room is drinking. And at this point in time in Kryn's history, they're probably drinking quite depressedly. It's not a great time for this land, so probably all trying to sink themselves into dwarf spirits. So I will leave it to you guys at the moment. The note that you saw said basically just to approach Baron and to offer your credentials, and he'd see whether or not he'd hire you. So I'm actually leaving this all up to you, Baron. If you don't like him, just don't hire them, and they'll have to re-roll a new character that's better.
Well,
Says Levin.
I will take my mug of ale and I'll walk over there to Baron.
Alright, still getting voices. There we go, Ulrich. Alright.
well met.
Hello. You're the one they call Baron.
And I am, laddie. What can I do for you?
Notice the the declaration on the tavern door out there. You were looking for some people for some help.
Yes. You look stocky, strong, good stature. Yeah.
Oh,
What are your credentials?
if a Knight of Salamina can be of assistance to you, I would offer it.
Well, I'll take you. You look sturdy. I doubt you'll go down.
Oh, I am steady enough, sir. And Alec sits down and raises his mug towards Baron.
As job interviews go,
Baron will
yes,
take his own mug and clap it together.
I've just seen that
I've just
Skyrise
seen
in
that
chat.
Skyrise in chat.
Hello, Scry Society.
Hi there. Are you Baron? Are you the Baron that's in question? You kind of look like you might be, or are you just borrowing his aura of mystery?
Yeah, my name's Baron.
Oh,
Who might you be, little one?
my name's Tobith Coppernot. I'm a traveler, thinker, finder of lost things and things no one's even asked to find. I'm really good with locks. Pretty bad with silence. Really good at not dying most days. Yeah, I'd like to work
Alright.
for you.
Yeah, well, you don't look sturdy, but you look quick, and if you can't be sturdy, you may as well be quick. So, yeah, I'll take you.
Glad to be here.
Just say that if
Glad to have you.
anybody's ever looking for a job, look for Baron. He'll just hire anyone. It's like, you're here, you'll do.
Yeah, so long as you don't look old and weazened or.
He has been
Well.
drinking for probably a few hours at this point, and these are the first people to approach him asking for work, so he's cool with it.
Fair enough. Alright, who's walking up next?
I think Finley, he's been watching Baron for a minute. Just kind of sizing it up. At this point, seeing the other two approach him, he'll walk over. Good evening. I take it you must be Baron?
Yeah, yes, that I am.
I hear you're looking for some adventurers. Some folk capable.
Yeah,
Would that be true? Alright. Well, I'm good with a bow. I'm good with tracking. If you need somebody who can help you along the road,
Oh.
especially in the forest, I'm your man.
Well, we got somebody sturdy, we got somebody quick. You don't look like neither, but if you can take him out at range, I guess that'd be useful. Yeah. If you can't be
I'm quick
sturdy and you
enough.
can't be quick, may as well be, use a bow, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty quick, and I'm quick with a bow and with a sword.
Welcome then.
Gaming.
Yeah, we could use another hand.
A little bit focused on these guys.
Excellent. Glad to be here.
How many hands are you looking for? I usually have 2.
Yeah, well, I got 2, you got 2, they've got 2, I assume they got 2. As many as we can get.
Great.
Magnus is going to walk over with a tankard in his hand. Come up. He's going to slam the tankard on the desk. Is there work over here or not?
Yeah. You want in?
What's the pay?
Let me run some numbers real quick. Ian, what's the pay?
Really cutting to the chase, aren't you?
Each, you've been given a budget, and you were told.
Oh,
to
right,
hire-
total of 30.
Yeah,
So.
there.
Okay.
I'm gonna look
So
at,
you can each
look-
get 25, or no, you can each get 5 steel coins. 5, 10, 15. I think I can actually maybe cut it up a little more than that. Hold on. Not the greatest at math. 3 divided by 5.
Math,
6.
what
You
other
each get
three?
6 steel coins.
Which, for this particular point in time, is a decent amount of pay. Steel coins go a long way because, as you can imagine, nobody's carrying 10,000 steel coins on them.
fair enough.
For sure.
I'll look at Baron.
How do we plug that into charge?
Not right now because that's you get paid at the end, and it may
Okay.
or may not matter depending on what happens.
Excellent. All right.
So,
Making note.
big guy slamming the
How's
drink
it-
on the table like that. Is that kind of like a mating ritual or a punctuation mark? I'm taking notes.
Looking over at the Kender, I'm like, you better be worth more than your weight if you're going to be helpful around here.
I'll be lots of help. I talk fast. I steal nothing.
Yes,
And
yeah,
I'm
just
not
watch
too
your
afraid of you. Which makes us friends by default.
I'll call you my friend, and I see what you can do. I'm gonna look at Baron
Well.
and be like, if you need experience, then you better take me with you.
Yeah, well, that'll take you along. You look sturdy, and that's as I've said, one of my qualifications. So,
Yes, sturdy.
I'll take you along.
All right, so you while the night away, and I definitely didn't do a dice roll before to see if anything happened. That did not happen in the background there while you were doing that. A couple of guys get a little bit belligerent partway through the evening, but the large barkeeper basically smacks their heads together, kicks them out the door, and nothing else happens. So you just while away the evening. Now, who is drinking? As in drinking.
Baron
Magnus?
absolutely is.
Alright, so come the morning, I'm going to need a constitution saving throw from all of you.
I was gonna say Magnus is trying to relay that he looks intoxicated, but he is not. He is
Auric
not
would
drinking enough. He is paying attention to everything around him.
Alright, so you don't roll the...
Yeah.
If you controlled yourself, but anybody who was just like, I'm just going to just... here I go. Give me a con save, please.
Yeah,
Who
Auric's gonna
spends the
start.
evening wandering around table to table looking for, people who left their drinks? Finish them off for them.
Also, in your case, also give me a sleight of hand.
Got it.
Auric will just nurse the one drink for the entire evening.
Finley will probably also do the same. He's not much of a drinker.
I'm going to give you advantage on that roll simply because you are a Kender and this is a bar in the middle of the night. There you go.
That's better.
Would I happen to have advantage from Dwarven Resilience?
For this con save? Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is
I
like...
can't say. Like it. Sorry. Same
You
thing.
are a member of your
I
own
needed
race. A functional alcoholic, basically. Like, you know.
As any good dwarf is.
Yeah. So, yeah, you while the night away, and the roll... Where is it? Baron... Kobeth... Yeah, look, it's not bad enough. You've got a very slight hangover, but you're all good. Nothing you haven't had before.
Yeah.
So come the morning, you make out very early the next morning. The light of the day is just coming over the horizon. And we are now going to switch maps.
Baron, tell us anything about the job during the night.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So it is a simple job. You are to escort a caravan of antiquities from before the Cataclysm, from Crossing to Haven, which would take you through North Keep, down through to Solace, and then on to Haven. He doesn't expect there to be too much trouble, because the roads are fairly good for adventurers, and his trip up here wasn't particularly bad, and he made that by himself, which in these times is... But he stuck to the main road, didn't go wandering off into the forest or anything, and did quite well. So in the morning you walk out to find that green wagon, and he hitches up his horse, which is not actually a horse, it's a giant sheep, which is a little bit of an in-joke that you'll see in a minute. And you begin to make your way from Crossing, and I'm just going to add I'm going to finish that. You don't get any XP for that. And I'm just going to add Baron to the map. And I'm going to control you for now. So you make your way out of crossing first thing in the morning with the cart and begin your travel down the road. Now the distances are imagined, so let's not quibble on how far this takes you. I worked out it's about a 2-day trip to North Keep. So you make your way down, and the main reason I wanted to get to here was to show you that Incarnate apparently didn't have horses, so this is being pulled by a giant sheep.
Makes sense.
And as you
do.
get to this point, we'll huddle everybody in now. Out from the trees ahead, you see two small green creatures looking starved. They look rabid. They're almost incoherent. They're not even really speaking. They're just like, eat, as they scream towards you. And I find my... Nope, wrong one.
Well, that can't be good.
Wrong one. Ah! Sorry, my bad. I'm just going to add them on manually. Because I must have actually forgotten to put them on for this one. I'm in fact going to finish that, because I accidentally opened the next encounter. And re-add them. Teething problems.
Next encounter. The DM's optimistic.
This one should be easy.
Should we survive? Oh dear.
I'm actually going to, because I think that's from a... Oops, not sure I should be doing that, but oh well. That might be from something I converted at one point, like 2 years ago. Alright, so these two goblins come screaming out of the trees, disheveled, dirty, looking half dead, and looking like they want to eat your giant sheep mount. So everybody,
Blasted goblins.
roll initiative for me.
Alrighty. Let's see.
First roll of the session, and that one, baby.
Oh,
Woo! Get the shit rolls out of the way now.
Must have been a bad hangover, Magnus.
I didn't even do the
Damn.
drinking.
I've got a cure for the hangover. I'll give you later.
I also rolled a nat 1. Dang. Total of 5.
Alright, so...
Yeah, at least it was initiative, so I still get my bonus.
Yeah. Ulrich, it is you up first. You're ever ready, ever aware, as your Knight of Solemnia should be, and you see these two goblins coming screaming towards you, looking intent to eat your mount.
Alright. Do we have any tokens to represent those goblins on the screen, or?
You should be able to... Oh, so sorry.
All I see is North Keep.
Me bad, sorry.
I was like, are they invisible?
They're
Damn.
invisible goblins.
No, that's my one weakness. No. Alright. I'm gonna get, or try to get, right in between them. Between them and the mount. I don't want to just slaughter them just yet, but I want to, like, keep them back with my shield, so, like, maybe like a shove, sort of. I could probably only do one of them. So I'm gonna shove one of them back and say, like, get back!
Alright, so give me a strength check or athletics.
I'll do athletics. Ooh, not great.
Alright, you go to shove him and he is going to Nah, he ducks out of the way. You go to shove. He's so ravenous, he just like swims to the side, and you completely miss him because it's quite short.
Stop!
And he just goes, eat.
I'm the only one still seeing the world map and not a subscreen.
You're
Yeah,
on
it's on the world
you're
map.
on We're just doing the battle on the world map. I didn't want to do
Gotcha.
yeah. So
Zooming in further.
Assume these are this distance is actual for this encounter.
Got it.
It's not. But anything else you'd like to do, Ulrich?
Yep, I'll call back to everybody else and be like, some assistance, please.
All right. And then Baron, you've seen he needs some assistance. 2 goblins tried to hit it, didn't manage.
Yeah. Baron's just gonna pull out the shield and the hammer and come up here. Baron is not going to be as lenient as Ulrich. He's gonna get to Kraken, and he's gonna whack this bottom one right here.
Yep.
Or attempt to, at least.
Give me a thwack.
I will attempt. Hey!
No, you definitely thwacked.
2 19s in a row.
That's not an attempt, you've thwacked. Alright, damage roll.
And it could have been better, but 6 bludgeoning as I bring my forge hammer just down onto his skull.
He's not looking well. You've like cracked his skull, there's blood running out the side, he's looking all woozy, he's like, eat. And yeah, he's doing poorly. Anything else you'd like to do?
That'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, the first one looks at this guy in the tin, looks at the big sheep mount, he's just like, you've got the sense that these guys aren't alright. Like, there's not much going on anymore. They're so hungry, they're just both saying, eat, over and over. So he's gonna go at you with his scimitar. He rolls a 13 against your armor class, which I'm assuming is a miss.
That's against me, right?
Yeah, Ulrich.
Oh yeah, definitely a miss. It bounces off my shield.
Yep, and then he is going to disengage as a bonus action and run towards the cart, getting to about here. He just wants to eat your sheep, so doesn't really want to
He's
fight
getting
you.
that close to me. I'll use my reaction to attack him.
Oh, that's right. All right, yep.
22 to hit. Cracking him for 8 slashing damage as he gets close to me with my glaive.
Oh, okay. So how are you finishing him?
As he gets too close, I take a wide swing as he's getting close to keep him away from me and slash across his rib cage and dig in further than I thought. And I look at him and go, bloody weakling.
He holds out one hand to you imploringly and just goes, and then dies. I do love parties. You could have fed them. Like, you know, that was an option. Goblin 2, seeing his mate just get slashed open, is actually so crazed by hunger right now that he uses the disengage action as well. But he runs up and he actually just starts eating his mate. Right in front of you. And that is going to be his entire turn.
Oh, good God.
All right. Well, then Tobith will head over about to here. And seeing that he's still close to Alric, he says, "All right, Pebble Pete, this is your moment. Don't screw it up again." And I'm going to use my Kopek and fling a stone at him.
Alright.
Damn it, Pete! I told you, don't screw it up!
Nope. He's so engorged in like just eating his mate that he's just ducked down at the last second, and your stone's just gone straight over the head of, over his head. He's now also covered in gore.
Yeah.
He's not a pretty sight. And that will be your turn. So Finley.
All right. Finley, watching all this happening, is aghast. He pulls out his bow, and then is going to take an attack at number 4 over here. This guy.
Alright, so what do we got? 22 definitely hits.
Oh, all right.
Give me the damage. I mean, you don't really need to. The guy had 1 hit point left. You were going to kill him no matter what.
Well, it's good because I rolled a 2 on the die, but that's a 6 slashing. Slashing?
Leaf blade bow.
Oh, I guess I used the leaf blade bow. I meant to use my longbow, but anyway.
It's alright. You would have. It wouldn't matter what bow you'd used. It was like, unless your bow does negative damage, you were killing that guy. So how do you finish him?
Nervous because he has no idea what's happening or why these people are acting in the way that they are. He steals himself, takes a deep breath, knocks the arrow, and shoots it straight through his head, from straight through his skull.
Alright, so you go straight through, bang, arrow pops out the back of his head, and he falls backwards with his mate's innards still in his hands, covered in gore from head to toe.
Magnus is gonna turn to Finley as the arrow shot right in front of him and nice. Useful. I like it.
Finley doesn't say much, but he gives a firm nod. Thanks.
Alrighty, and that's combat over. We're out of initiative and gonna keep making our way. Well, what do you guys want to do right now?
Well, congratulating Finley. Well done. I think that was so efficient. Like a thunderstorm wearing socks, you know? It was pretty powerful.
I'm not even gonna waste time trying to look through the bodies.
You're not going to, or are going to?
No, I'm not.
No, you wouldn't find anything anyway. I mean, one of them just tried to eat the other one, so they probably don't have anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I'd known you were that good with a bow, Finley, I would have let Pebble Pete miss sooner. You're great.
Well, thank you. I've much practice.
Alright, so we will, unless, somebody wanted to be nice and bury them, or leave them by the road.
Before heading off, it's not going to be deep, but I'm just going to take my hammer and push aside some dirt to at least kind of cover them, and it'll just... Baron still doesn't really know much about, quote-unquote religion, so I'll just, yeah, hey, whatever god's up there, just, treat him nice, I guess. And leave them in their shallow grave.
Alrighty.
Magnus is gonna say you're choosing wolves over ravens. Take a meal from a raven to give it to a wolf. All right, whatever.
I admire your compassion, Baron.
I mean, I figured, they're still sentient. I'd want to be buried.
Finley will quietly help Baron. He's he'll start digging up a grave for the other one as Baron digs up the one and gently pushes the bodies down and starts covering them.
Yeah.
So that's even wanting to bury them after they try to stab you. That's quite a thing there, Baron. I mean, they screamed at us, they charged us, they tried to kill us.
To be fair, I gave the skull in.
True.
I think it's a tit for tat moment. I mean, he tried to stab me, but I think I did him harder.
I think you did
We
too.
did do a number on them.
Just gonna.
So they.
I'd hope to calm them down, give them whatever scraps we had, and send them on their way, but they chose violence all the way, I suppose.
They did seem desperately hungry.
Tobith picks up two especially nice shiny stones and places one in each grave.
Tobith, you don't know where from, but you feel like a little bit of a surge of something as you place these stones on. As if something somewhere, you don't know what, has reached out and given you a pat on the back for a job well done. As if those stones were somehow special. And so for that you're going to get inspiration.
Excellent. Thank you.
I will actually do that. Normally I wouldn't do 2, but I feel like Baron, you're going to as well for stopping and burying them rather than leaving them to the ravens.
Thank you. Mark that down.
We will continue on. Somebody's microphone is picking up somebody else's as well. I don't know whose that is. You may just need to turn it down a bit. Whoever it is, when it happens, it tops out the sound. It goes red. So it's coming through pretty loud at that point. Just keep an eye out if it's yours. Try and adjust it down so it doesn't pick up so much. Oh, you're all over there. How do I pick a group? I'm just going to use you again because it's easier. So this is about mid-afternoon anyway, so you decide afterwards, you drive down a little bit further because you don't really want to go and camp for the night near a bunch of corpses. That's a good way to get found by something else in the middle of the night. So you go down probably another half hour or so until you come to a nice little defensible copse. And you pull up for the night, you make your camp, and eat your rations and do all the things you're going to do in camp. Not an awful lot is going to happen tonight, but if you wanted to role play through your night's thing, then I'm all for that. So I will leave it to you what you do for the evening.
So, Baron, I'm not sure what kind of prayers you seekers are saying lately. Maybe you can include the part where those guys didn't have any choice. But have you seen any other little ones like me in your seeking travels? I've been looking for my sister.
Well, funny you mention it. Yeah, actually. Can't remember how long ago it was, but within the past year, I believe. Uh, there was one that got captured, arrested. The Seekers thought they were a heretic, but punishment never came. When they went to execute him, the little one's cell was empty.
So they're going to execute my sister? You think it might have been Belty?
Oh, that was the name. Yeah. No, well, they didn't. They were going to, but they didn't. The cell was empty. Maybe God had something to do with it.
Well, I don't know much about that, but where did she go then?
I don't know. The cell was empty.
Oh,
I was just
well,
kind of relieved because I didn't really think execution was much of a just punishment for that, but
where was this?
eh, I don't really remember.
Oh my word. Well, I'll stick with you. Maybe you can help. I'll help you try and remember.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my life underground, and a lot of the stuff up top here just kind of looks the same.
Did she get a fair trial?
Yeah, probably not.
It is quite barbaric. Just to execute someone without.
Yeah, I don't really agree with my order. I'm just on a mission from God.
I understand there was no slight towards your character, Baron. You just simply speaking to the situation.
Yeah, fair. Like I said, I don't really agree with him, but I'm on a mission from God.
Is it your
Keep
Figured that
saying
god
was
this.
that's
the
paying you?
closest way. Sorry, one at a time, please.
I was trying to say, is it your god that's paying you?
No, that'd be the Seekers. Unfortunately, I don't think God has much of a treasury. I think he's more mystical.
So you're on a mission for the Seekers.
Well, no. See, you misunderstood me. See, I'm on a mission from God, and that mission has led me to the Seekers, which are paying me. Which I don't mind. I mean, money's money.
Yeah, organized faith is kind of like organizing spoons. It looks tidy, but someone always ends up getting stabbed.
How do you stab someone with a spoon?
I can show you later.
Give Tobith an
Eh,
odd look too. Tilt my head.
That's mighty curious. I don't know that I want to be on the receiving of that. It sounds uncomfortable.
yeah, I'm not too keen on it either.
Maybe keep your spoons to yourself, perhaps.
I'll keep my spoons to myself. As long as you don't touch them, we're all good.
Somebody been watching a bit of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves lately? Men in Tights is clearly the superior movie.
Of course.
Men in Tights is definitely the superior movie, yes, correct.
Agreed.
All right, so the rest of the night goes fairly amicably. Um, you're all a bit like Baron seems to have some sort of idea about a religion, and religion's a bit of a like probably about now. Like think about now in the world and how touchy a subject it can be sometimes. It's probably about that because as far as all of you are concerned, the gods either never existed or they abandoned you all after throwing a giant fiery mountain at you and wiping out parts of the world. So you're not necessarily. You've got the ideas of faith, like Ulrich, you would uh, probably still maintain the forms of faith because Knights of Solamnia would still be doing that. Tobinth, Magnus, Finley, No, not really. This wouldn't necessarily be a um, central part of your life. And as Baron said, like God, like he doesn't know which one, doesn't really know anything about them, just has some sort of faith. Tobith, apparently you need to keep away from spoons.
Yeah, and my sister, I've got to find. I'm not loving seekers generally, so I was kind of thinking just to hang out here with Baron to find out if he knew anything about my sister, and he does. So I guess I'm sticking around.
All right. That wasn't definitely something I used. You know, some sort of prompt to make that happen. So the rest of the night goes fairly calmly. You set up watches and do all the normal things because you would know to do that in this land. Nobody's going to just go to sleep in the middle of nowhere at this particular point in time.
Through the night, Tobith is going to take out Belty's page and just kind of look at it, see if anything comes to it or if it feels warm, anything like that. Just feeling the piece of paper that he has of her page.
Okay, so next morning comes, you've done that, everyone else has slept. Everyone's probably a couple have noted you looking at a piece of paper and wondered what it was during the night, but nobody's pried, don't know each other well enough for that yet. And so you continue on your way to North Keep to start on the second leg of your journey down to Solace and through to Haven. Um, Again, the day goes fairly um, uneventful. There's not much that goes on, but um, about mid-afternoon, you see a deer on the side of the road, just standing there looking at you. What do you do?
I'm gonna ask Finley if he thinks he can make the shot.
I could. Were we in need of food?
That was
In,
my question too.
in this particular time, you would take food where you could take it. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, maybe I'll shoot at the deer. You'd be shooting at the deer because food can be quite scarce, hard to come by, especially out in the wilds.
Yeah, in that case, Finley would give a nod. Certainly, yes. Can't have too much food. And he'll
Plus, it's being rude, just
cautiously
blocking the
step back.
road.
Yeah, cautiously step back, pull out his bow, and aim for the deer.
All right. I won't bother with the roll because you're not going to hit the deer. You fire, but the deer just sidesteps it. Not with no effort whatsoever. Like it's just like the arrow's coming and it's just like not in front of your arrow anymore. The
And that
deer
was odd.
looks at you.
Um,
The deer looks at you. It puts
mm,
out one of its front legs and like basically bows to you and stands up and then turns and just walks calmly back through the trees.
Finley will lower his bow and watch the deer. Is there any insight I could possibly do?
You could roll an insight.
Um, sure.
It's
No
a
idea.
deer. However,
uh,
once the deer walks back into the trees about 10 feet, it turns around to you all and it stops and it puts out its front leg again and it bows and then it kind of gives you like a little flick of its head as if to say, come on, follow me.
Never seeing a deer act like that. Magnus will follow after the deer.
Yes, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that he was trying to get us to follow him.
For sure. Finley is puzzled. It quickly puts his bow away and jogs after.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
I'm going to
follow,
ask
follow.
who's staying with the cart. And perhaps suggest Aaron and Ulrich.
I don't feel like anybody's staying with the cart.
Well,
We're
if I
terrible at
die chasing a magical deer, I hope somebody tells Council Rock I was right all along.
So ignore anything that you can see because I did the wrong thing.
Didn't see anything.
Alright, well,
Okay.
See nothing to see.
to huddle
I think we
monsters.
should call this thing Sir Antler, the enigmatic.
Oh dear. That is terrible.
Oh, so is that. Oh dear. Come on.
We gotta have our fun somewhere, you know.
Alright,
Yep.
so in front of you, walking through a clearing in the forest, is this deer, staying about 20 to 30 feet ahead of you at any given time. Every time you stop, it stops, turns around, puts its leg out, bows, and then gives you a flick like, come on, hurry up. Haven't got all day.
Wow, this dude's really impatient.
Finley will just look at the
Yeah,
rest of the group.
keep following.
Well, let's follow and run after the deer.
I
Yeah, I guess so.
Going towards and following. I'm also going to think, anybody feeling like this is a trap? That deer set a trap?
Completely.
yes, you're out to beat.
That's always a
you're out to beat
possibility.
that.
So keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, always. Alright, so as you get to this point, the deer disappears. It is no longer there. Instead, you see in front of you what appears to be, I don't know how much of that you can see from where you are, an area of corrupted forest. The ground is covered in like what looks to be cracks of lava and blood and bones and all sorts of horrible things. And floating in front of what appears to be some sort of old temple or shrine is a gigantic eye.
By Huma's name.
Everybody will stay there for the moment because in front of said gigantic eye is a small figure. This figure looks like a wizened, deformed child. And as she sees you, she screams, "Yeah! Those are the ones! They could ruin our plans! Kill them! Kill them now!" And saying that, out of the portal steps 4 bad guys who start moving towards you to do just what she said as she steps back through the portal and disappears. Roll for initiative.
Who
Please.
feels that was bad news? What is this?
What is this? Draw my sword.
Ah, there we go. An 18 for me. Not bad.
Alright. So, Tobith, you have seen a gigantic floating eye, blood, lava, skulls, all of this sitting everywhere around you. It doesn't look good. It might be time to step
No.
away onto the spoon.
Absolutely. I'm going to take out a short bow and take a shot. change my weapon here. Oh. Great. And target number 4, since he's the closest to me.
Yep. A 17 will definitely hit.
And that's my action.
Alright, so number 4. Arrow takes him in the arm. He's not down as it goes through the fleshy part, but he's not happy with you right now. He's looked at you and he's given you the universal sign, the thumb across the throat. Finley.
Ah, yes. Sorry.
You're right.
I'm still getting used to my name. Okay. So, Finley, seeing these people coming out of this portal, the other going back in, clearly on the aggress, he's going to pull his bow back out and try to take a shot at one of them. Maybe this one here.
Yep. So you've seen Tobith whack an arrow in this guy's arm already, so it would make sense that you'd go for the same guy.
Oh, ouch. That's an 8.
Yeah, no, for some reason you whiff it. It just goes right over the top of his head. Probably a bit put off by the giant floating eye.
It is a pretty disturbing image, yes.
So anything else you'd like to do?
Seeing my arrow fly over this guy's head, I'm going to mutter a curse under my breath and see if I've got anything I can even do on a bonus action. I don't
Probably
think
not
so.
much
Not
at
at this
point.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly not at level 1.
Remembering you also wouldn't have any. Oh no, you wouldn't get magic until level 2 anyway, so that wouldn't matter.
Yeah, so I just reach in my quiver for another arrow and ready for my next round.
Alright. So thug number 3 is going to move closer. He wants to get in, but he's also aware that he can't get to you this round. He is going to take out his crossbow and he's going to fire it at Finley. Rolling a 16. Is that a hit? It is.
That will hit my armor class of 14, yes.
Doing a whole 3 damage to you. With his mace for some
Ooh,
reason.
ouch.
Okay.
Yes.
Same difference in the end. And that is his turn. Thug 4 gonna move down as well, and he's gonna take a pot shot at Tobith, the guy that put an arrow in his arm. For a 17.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, 8 damage.
Yikes.
You are not well. This is
That's a
just
big
gone
ow.
through your shoulder, like right through the shoulder, basically through the
Yep.
joint, and you are bleeding badly. These guys are serious. This little wizened thing that was screaming has told them to kill you, and they are going to take it as their job to make sure that happens now. One moves forward. He takes a look at the guys in the background and sees the guy in the heavy armor, and he's like, I'm going to try and pop this one. Rolling an 18, which I think is a miss on Ulrich.
Yes.
It skitters off the edge of your armor and doesn't manage to penetrate. That's him done, and the last one is going to come forward and is going to go for the other guy with the big sword on a stick. Rolling a 14 against you, Magnus. Which
Miss.
doesn't hit. It hits your chainmail and it clatters off, getting caught in the rings. And that will bring us to Magnus. It's your turn.
As everybody come running up, I'm going to move up within 10 feet of number 3. Taking out my glaive, I'm going to pierce and attack number 3. For a 17 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Oh,
6
FYI,
points of slashing.
DM.
Sorry.
I forgot to equip my. I forgot to equip my leather armor. A 16 still hits me, but just so you know, my armor class is actually 15.
It did
Not
seem a bit
the
low.
14.
It did seem a bit low, but I was like, oh well,
Yeah.
that's what you wanted.
So after the 6 slashing damage, I'm going to attack again with a 4 bonus action with the butt end of the glaive. 19.
Yep.
Dealing an additional 4 points of bludgeoning damage before backing up 5 feet, kind of stand buffering Ulrich.
Alright, so next it's Ulrich's turn.
Okay.
These guys look pretty serious business, so you want to get through them as quickly as you can.
I'll move up to number 6, and as I go to attack, I'm going to use one of my knight abilities called Precise Strike. If I make a weapon attack roll against the creature, I can cause it to have advantage. If it does hit, it'll do my normal damage plus a single d8 of extra damage.
Sounds good. Do you want to link that in? Can you link that in chat easily enough? Or I think in
Sure.
Foundry.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple of things I need to run by you too. All right, which chat channel you want me to throw it into?
I mean, can you do it into the shard chat or not? If not, that's fine. Yep. Just go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Do your
Okay.
attack. Oh yep, that precise strike when
All
it's turn to finish long rest. So you have efficiency bonus. All right, cool.
Yep, I can only do it twice, but once per turn. All right, where's my weapon at? Long sword should go. Oh, no, that's not it. There we go. Sorry,
Thanks for that, Bear.
I'm dumb on shard. Where do I hit these?
So just roll your attack from your sheet where you're looking at your sheet right now. Rip with longsword. So where you got your longsword in the weapons, armor, and tools, you'll have your +6 on the right hand side. Just click that.
Oh, okay. Duh. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, no, advantage.
advantage, yes. So
Actually,
hit
no, I
the
get advantage.
advantage button on there. Oh, yep, you get him.
16.
Yay.
Okay.
So now do your damage
Yeah.
plus your extra 1d8 of damage.
Yep. So the normal damage, Jesus. 5, and then just a single d8. 1. So 6 points of damage. Slashing.
Damage is damage.
Yeah, slashing.
So yep, you've given him a nice big slash. He's still up. He's still pretty healthy, but he's not happy.
All right. Well, that's my turn.
All right. So I'm just reading the chat there with Tobith and Baron. All right. So Baron, it is your turn. These guys seem pretty serious business about all this.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna move up and strike off against the fellow that Magnus had been fighting. I'm gonna
Yep.
move up to here, and as I kind of like move up beside him, I am like swinging wide with my hammer in like an arcing motion,
All right.
and we'll see if it hits. 19 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Nice.
All right, that'll deal 8 bludgeoning damage as I crack him across the jaw. And that will end my turn.
Alrighty. So he's still up, but I'd say you've broken his jaw. And he's not very happy right now. He's kind of like, which you translate as something not very friendly that he was saying. Tobith, you're not in a good way. You are bleeding profusely, and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of run off to the other side of the fight, away from you. Go team.
All right. Yep. So Tobith is going to take the dodge action, and as he's running, he's also going to use his taunt ability, and which, if you're not sure what that is, that in. But as he uses taunt and any targets, which is going to be that number 4, he now has disadvantage on attack rolls against me. And he shouts out, "Just so everyone's clear, this one's mine!" And then I run away.
Alright, so he needs to do a wisdom save. DC is 8
Yeah, it
plus
was
your
12.
prog plus. Alright. He does not pass the save at all, even close. He completely fails.
You're gonna shoot me again, do it with some style. Maybe a cartwheel first.
He's like, he's so angry. Does that, the slubbery jaw thing that people do, apparently. Alright, so you've taken the
Right,
dodge
that's my action.
action. Finley, you're up.
All right. Would I see this? Would I notice this guy over here is probably the most hurt of everyone?
You're in the middle of battle, so give me a perception check. Yeah, your
16.
battlefield awareness is enough that you notice that guy's looking pretty beat on. A couple of people have had a go at him.
All right, so I'm going to back this way, try to cover a shot toward Tobith as I'm stringing an arrow and maybe getting a clearer shot on him. So I'm going to shoot my leaf blade bow for a 19 hit.
That will hit.
All right, for a total of 7 piercing damage.
So he's starting to look pretty bad now. He's got a broken jaw. He's been sliced by Magnus's stick sword. and now he's got an arrow protruding from his upper thigh on his left leg. And he's not looking good. He's a bit woozy on his feet, but he's not quite dead. Hanging in there. And it's his turn. So he's like, to you, Baron, because you broke his jaw. And he rolls a 22 with his mace.
That will hit.
Doing 5 damage to you, which is not great. You've taken a big chunk. You're definitely you've just been maced straight in the chest. And you think there's some cracked ribs in there. There's definitely, it's like, oh, yep, that's done some damage. And that is his turn. And then it's number 4, and he's just like, oh, I'm going to kill that little... And so you've taken the dodge action, plus you've taunted him, and your taunt...
Also makes him have disadvantage, so kind of double disadvantage.
There is no
If
double
you could have that.
There is no double
I know.
A worthy try.
disadvantage.
Get it on the old college try.
At least everybody else will have a disadvantage as well.
Yeah, it just becomes a mess.
Well, I don't feel like I even need to roll the disadvantage, but I'll give it a go anyway. So he rolled a total of 5. So he's just like, well, I'm going to kill you, you little shit. I hate Kenda. Kenda are the worst. I don't even know what one is because I didn't come from this place. But anyway, don't like you. And fires a crossbow bolt that just goes
For sure.
far wide. And that's him. This one is he's just going to come in to the guy in the big heavy armor that's right in front of him and try and hit him. It's a 12, which does not. How do you defend that blow? Ulrich.
Defending his blow.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll Auric will raise up his shield against him if he comes down at me.
All right. Hit your shield. There's a bit of a sound from the mace hitting the metal, and it looks like he's got a bit of a dead arm after that. It's like, oh, that hurt. Shit. And that is his turn, and the other one is standing directly in front of you already, so he's going to do the same thing and try and hit you. 15. Okay. These guys just cannot get past your armor.
You face a knight of Salamina, sirs.
He's like, I don't know what that is, man. Just I'll kill you.
They're like, shrug.
Magnus, you're up.
I step 10 feet forward, slashing to try to finish off the one there in front. Nat 20.
Oh, there we go. All right, give me a critical roll.
Nice.
Total damage. Oh. I won on the second roll. And slashing damage to the one in front of Baron.
Yep.
Is he still standing?
No, how do you finish him?
I'm going to run up and thrust as hard as I can with my glaive, yelling, tactics, one at a time, everybody. Take them down, move along. And then I'm going to use my butt end to try to hit the other one right in front of Ulrich.
Alrighty.
Oh, sorry. That was the damage roll, but I didn't roll to hit first. My apologies. 18.
It hits, so you do 3 bludgeoning damage to that guy.
Oh, yeah. You rolled.
Well, yeah, I've taken the first damage. It's alright.
That's fair.
So the first guy you've gone through just under the sternum, and you've actually severed his spine. Your glaives come out the back, and you've just seen his legs just basically out from under him, and he was dead before he hit the ground. And then you've come out, spun around, and just smacked this guy in the side of the temple with the butt of your glaive. And he's like, oh, okay, that hurt. Oh my lord! Nope, I'm gonna kill you guys. They still.
Then I'll back up 5 feet behind Ulrich, who's seeming like a really good shield.
These three are still well in the game, so while they're a bit miffed that you just killed their, I wouldn't say friend, person that was also with them, then by no means
Acquaintance.
dead. I'm not even sure acquaintance would apply there. It was just like, you're all here, you're all in the same group, kill things. Ulrich, it is your go.
Sure.
All right. I'll keep attacking number 6 here. Just gonna make a roll for my longsword. 17.
17 will definitely hit.
All right. And 8 points of slashing.
Right, 8 points to him. He's looking bad, but he's still up. And that's you.
That's me.
Baron, you've just seen this guy's spine severed in front of you and he's dropped to the ground in a heap.
Yeah. I'm gonna just step over him and
Like
move
adroitly.
over to here.
Tiptoe over the top of him.
Question I forgot to ask during session 0. Do you run flanking?
Yes, I do. But of course, remember that means that they get there
Okay.
too.
That's totally fair. Baron just kind of with like a pained and almost like disappointed look that he didn't get to get that guy back for the hit he got on him. He's gonna take it out on his friend and just creeping up behind him and just gonna bonk him in the back. And roll that with advantage. 22 to hit.
That will hit. As you do that, he's like, "We weren't even friends. He was a dick."
Oh, max damage for 12 bludgeoning as I just come up behind this guy and drop it like right on the back of his, like the top of his shoulders, like right before it meets the neck.
You hit him on the right hand side. I'm assuming you're right handed because the hammer's in your right hand in the picture.
Yeah.
And you have actually dislocated his shoulder. You've hit him so hard. You watch his shoulder joint just pop out and his shoulder's hanging down low.
Yeah, that's for hitting me.
You're pretty sure he couldn't even attack at this point. Tobith, your turn.
Now, I'm not sure. Do they have to roll again each round for taunt, or does that stay on?
Let me have a look at taunt.
Here. Attack rolls until the start of my next turn. Okay. I'm going to taunt him again then. And I yell, "You're sure you're not half Kender? You're chasing me like you own socks. Like I owe you socks, rather." And then I'm going to take a shot with my arrow.
Just before you do that, he's going to roll his. And, he passes his wisdom check this time because he's like, I have no idea what a Kender is, man. And, oh, you socks? Are you insane? That one still hits. Well and truly still alive, but he now has an arrow poking out of his side.
And heading that way, so there's lots of people between me and him.
It is now Finley's turn.
All right, I'm going to take a few quick steps back this way so I have a clear line of sight of this guy between Ulrich and Baron. And take a shot at him.
Definitely hits.
For a total 24 to hit.
Yeah, definitely
All right.
hits.
a total of 5 piercing damage.
Oh no, it's okay.
Rolling bad on the damage.
It's okay. How do you kill him?
All right, easily shot an arrow straight between his eyes, and just even before the arrow impacts, Finley is already drawing another bow for next round.
This guy is gonna do like if you've ever seen Tombstone, he does like the Johnny Ringo thing at the end there and starts like stumbling around with the arrow pointing out between his eyes, like he walks over and like he's still alive, but you know he's definitely not, and then he just like collapses to the ground. If you haven't seen Tombstone, you should, because it's an awesome movie.
Here.
Oh yes.
Yes, definitely Rip Val Kilmer. It
Yes.
was
Definitely.
R.I.P. Indeed.
all right. So the first thug was dead. So this guy's just like, you know what? I'm sick of this little guy. I'm not dealing with him anymore. I'm gonna go and hit this guy, Magnus. Now I know he came into
as
your
he-
range, so you're gonna attack him.
Absolutely. Never miss an opportunity to attack. 20 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
4 slashing damage. As he comes in, I swing with my glaive as fast as I can.
You do contact, but it's not a deep cut. It's more of just a shallow one. He's seen you do this before, so he kind of ducked back a little bit, and you just kind of got him across the chest. Just a nice line of red. And now he's going to swing back with his mace at you. For a 6, which I'm sure misses.
Would be a miss.
But swings again. Oh, and he still misses. Like, this guy's... You're just too quick. So it's this guy's go, who is going to do the same. He's going to try for this Ulrich guy again. He's just like, 21. Finally contacts.
Yep, that finally contacts.
For max
High
damage
AC at
too.
level 1.
Oof.
He does.
Oh, ouch.
But it was a decision of mine that really kind of, I feel like it made sense, because this guy's a Knight of Solamnia, so he's not going to be wearing chainmail.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to be wearing plate armor, because they
Yeah,
all
for
wear
sure.
plate armor.
It's always good to have one in the party. As at least on player end.
You like hear Aura kind of cry out in pain as one of these guys finally got through.
Yeah. He got you good too. Like he's found a
Oh, yeah.
gap in your armor, and he's just smacked that with the mace. And he's going to come back for shot 2. He's feeling good now. He got you. So he wonders if he can down you. Oh no, you managed to stop the second blow.
Yeah, I bat him with my shield.
All right. So now Magnus, you're up.
So I can take the risk and back up the 5 feet before swinging with the glaive.
He's definitely going to
At number 4.
freebie as well. Like it's not going to not do
That makes sense to me.
16.
16 hits.
6 damage.
6 damage. Oh,
Oh, you're not well either.
taking that.
He's got you
That
right.
was a mighty blow to me.
He's got you right
I'll
in the gut.
Ugh. Swinging back with my glaive.
You definitely hit
22 to
him with
hit. Feeling 8 slashing damage. Swinging again with the butt end. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're right. 13 hits.
13 hits. And another 5 bludgeoning.
He's not well now.
And I will
You've given him a good old slashing and kept on bashing. But he
I'll
is
back
still
it up
alive.
extra feet. Look into Finley and I'll say, "Between the eyes, man! Between the eyes!"
Ulrich, it is your turn.
You got it.
I'll try to. I'll attack the guy at number 4 that Magnus was dealing with. Okay. Dang it.
9 will not hit. He actually he's not feeling real well, and he does the what would be comical normally, but like the duck down just as you swing. So your swing just goes over the top of his head without actually contacting at all.
Yeah, I'm not looking too good myself. So like, my swing kind of like takes a while to get to him. And that's enough time for him to duck down.
Baron, you can do it. It's all up to you.
Yeah.
The fate of the world.
I trust that either Tobith or Finley can deal with that one. I'm gonna start working on the next. I'm gonna come over here.
Yep.
Hit the pincer move, and see if I can crack him.
Get him with the old pincer.
Say 22 to hit once more.
That will hit.
Not great, but still damage is damage. 5 bludgeoning, and I'm just kind of like hitting him. If he's facing Ulrich, I'm just like slapping him like on the hip bone with my hammer.
All right. You
Get him where it hurts.
you hear a crunch, and you know that, like, because of your time with the Seekers, you know a little bit about anatomy, so you know that you've actually like just snapped the end of the bone on his hip, so it hurts like, oh, like you imagine that's quite painful. And
Yeah, and I'll end my turn there.
Tobith,
All right. Tobith starts to get his whole pack out and says, "All right, no more playing. Sorry, Pebble Pete, but your cousin Angry Albert gets a turn now. Hey, you got a little something on your dignity. It's leaking." I yell over at number 4, and then I plant my heels and pivot and swing the hoopak around, and I send Angry Albert whistling toward him. Let's see how it goes here.
it hits.
Nice.
Right.
Love that.
Just like to mention that if you've ever seen the hoop pack before, it would also have made quite a whining sound as he was swinging it around.
It does, yes.
Yep.
Now that would be with sneak attack as well, right? Since they're
Why
next
not?
to Alric.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So an additional D6, which I can't add normally, so I have to do it manually here. One sec. So a total of 8 points of damage.
Alright, so hoopback damage kills him anyway, but the extra 3 damage really kills him. He's super dead.
Okay. So it hits him right in the temple, cracks the temple, snaps his head back to the side. His body kind of staggers around a bit, almost falls onto Alric, and then he collapses backward with his mace falling from his hands.
Alright, you see blood trickling out of his ears as he falls over. Definitely ruptured.
That one's going to leave a mark or something. Sorry about the eyebrow.
Alright, so one last guy left. Finley, it's your turn. Can you finish him in one go? Probably not. He's probably got way too many attacks.
Especially not with how I've been rolling on the damage. But
See,
you know,
now's your time.
I'm still gonna take a good shot.
Now's your 20 max damage.
Okay, so Finley is going to jump this direction and get a good shot on him and shoot that arrow for a 14 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, let's do damage.
That's not bad.
All right, that's a 8 piercing.
He's not down, but he's definitely just taken one like right through the stomach. He's looking pretty bad right now. A little bit bashed, a little bit porcupined. It is, however, now his turn, and he's going to turn and swing at Baron. And he hits. Baron goes down.
Bleh.
You get cracked on top of the head and you go down. And he's going to turn back and he's going to swing at Elric.
Yo.
That's the roll that needed for Baron. He does not hit you at all. He rolled a 6.
Oh, no.
But Baron has gone down. And now Magnus, you've seen one of your new companions hit the ground.
I did change my tactic. I was about to try to intimidate the just guy. I will. So that was 16. I'll come to about here. I'm going to. I'm still going to do that. I'm going to hold out my glaive up to the person. I'm going to try and intimidate him to tell him to surrender. And like ask kind of what's going on. Surrender and talk.
Give me
I'll do an intimidation check.
intimidation.
9. That did not work like I was hoping. And that would be the end of my turn.
Not be intimidated. He is not intimidated. He's.
I didn't think so with a 9.
You think if anything, maybe he's more scared of the small thing that went back through the portal than he is of you.
I think that would be a reasonable concern for him. Yes.
Sorry, one of my kids just needed me for a sec. All right. So whose turn is it now? It is Baron. No, it's Elric. I skipped and.
Oh.
So Elric, you have a go. Baron, you're
Hey.
dead anyway. So.
Say don't rush for the death save.
15 to hit.
That definitely hits.
10 slashing.
10 slashing
Nice.
damage. Not enough to down him, but he is looking decidedly poorly now. Now, unless you've got a bonus action, it is Baron and the death save. So I will roll. Oh, you saved. So, yay.
Yay.
Tobith, can you do it? Have you got another stone call?
Cool.
All right, so Tobith sees Baron go down, and his eyes narrow, and his voice kind of lowers, and he says, "You don't get to do that! He knows my sister! Go get him, Justice Jasper!" And he throws a rock with his hoop-back at him. Very angrily.
It very angrily hits. It is not
Total
quite.
of 9.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you got sneak attack. So
Yes.
it is enough. You take him out as well.
I hit him in the ribs, knocking him sideways away from Baron, and start running toward Baron.
As you hit him in the ribs, one of his ribs breaks and pierces his lung, and he goes down gurgling as he drowns in his own blood. It isn't pretty. All right, Baron. What are you guys going to do here? Because he's got about
Help action.
6 seconds.
Yeah, help action.
All right.
I was going to say my theory would be to deceptively like go up like I know what I'm doing as a medic and use spare the dying. But I am doing this in a way that to not draw attention to the fact that I'm using any kind of magic. It is purely hands in the blood, stopping the wound up. While my hands are in there, my hands are moving, and I'm using the verbal components. I don't know what you want to use as the saying, but spare the dying.
Give me a deception check.
18.
I'm going to use passive perceptions for this one. Well, nobody notices you using the magic. They just see you cast your. Well, they see you helping, like you're just doing the movement that they do in like games where you're just bandaging the air and somehow it's for healing him. Or pouring an energy drink into him or something. Whatever you're doing. Yep. So he saves. He's stable. On 1 hit point. And
I'm looking him in the eyes as he's coming to and saying, "You still owe me my money. You live till I get paid."
Yeah, that's fair.
I realised I had the music going. I did need to restart it every 10
Ever
minutes.
the protagonist.
We're only 10-minute songs. Alright, as you all stand there around the bodies of these 4 thugs, you see the portals blinking in the distance. The eye-shaped portal blinking in the distance. It seems to be looking directly at you.
What in the name of human?
Well, that thing is mighty ominous. Any idea what the hell that is?
It looks like an eye.
As you
That much I can see.
As you watch it, it blinks, and when it blinks, for a second you see somewhere else. You see a green hill, and you see a windmill, an old windmill, and in the distance you see what appears to be the walls of a city. Just for a second, and then it's back to being an eye. And this happens every 5 to 10 seconds.
It does appear to be something more than just an eye, however.
Tobith is looking over the bodies to see if there's anything that indicates who or what they might be, and of course, what might be better in Tobith's pocket as well.
All right. I didn't work out what way of treasure for this, but let me go. I will find it a bit
Once
later.
a kinder, always a kinder.
Yeah. You do find a symbol on one of them, but you don't recognize it, and I will find that symbol for you when I load the next book up.
Good.
But suffice to say, they all have a symbol that appears to be branded into their skin.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna look at Baron and say, "Another faithful cult."
Oh,
To
Well,
help him.
The eye starts blinking faster, and each time it blinks, you see the other scene for a little bit longer.
I'm gonna get a little closer to the eye and I'm gonna look back. Does anybody know what that ugly child was speaking about? We're gonna stop her plans.
The I certainly don't, Baron.
I've got an idea. Just a hunch. And I'm gonna take off running, and I'm gonna try and swing my hammer at the eye.
No. Wait.
Well,
I will allow everybody else to take, because it's going to take you a good 10 seconds to run across the distance to the eye. There's no way the others don't notice you doing it. So I'll allow you all to follow, or to everyone just tell me what you're going to do in regards to this.
Tobith follows.
Nope.
Got to be with Baron. He knows my sister.
Alright, so Tobin, you're running behind him. He's bringing his hammer up. He's about to hit it. Finley, what are you doing?
Finley, the moment he sees Baron running after the eye, or to swing at it, he's going to follow after, maintaining like maybe a 10-foot difference.
Alright, Magnus, what do you do? This dwarf's gone crazy and is about to try and beat up a giant floating eye.
Coming a little closer, kind of in behind Tobith and Finley, and I'm going to yell out, "Another leap of faith!" as I'm continuing to taunt Baron over having any kind of faith in any higher being.
Bit mean, but okay. Ulrich.
Well, knowing that both Tobith and Baron were kind of like pretty roughed up, they need like some protection, eventually some mending. He's gonna like run right there and try to keep some kind of like protection on Tobith's flank.
Alright. So you guys make it to about there. Baron lunges forward with his hammer. He swings as hard as he can at this eye, and he hits nothing, but he's so committed to the blow that he just like rolls forward. He just loses his footing, hits the eye, and disappears.
Well, if he's going in first, I'm not letting him name what's on the other side. I jump in after him.
Alright, so you run straight in.
Finley just yells, "What?"
Blast the Kinder.
The others, do you move or are you waiting?
I'm
The
going to
moment-
jump in and say, I stick with my mark. I'm hired by him. He's got my blade until the end.
Yep, pretty much.
Finley is also going to run in, flabbergasted. He's never seen anything like this, so he hesitates, but only but a moment before diving in after.
So I don't have a map for the next bit, but you're gonna have to do this all theory of the mind. So as Finley hits the eye closes and disappears, which you guys don't see because you're on the other side of it now, and you find yourself standing on top of a hill. Green grass rolls down to the walls of a city in the distance. On your left-hand side is an old windmill. It's not currently working. You see what appears to be somebody looking out of the top window quickly turn away. As you turn back to look at the city again, you see a cloaked and hooded figure standing slight distance away. You cannot see their features, and they say, "Ah, here at last, and not a minute too soon." He turns to Baron, taps the side of his head and says, "I believe you're about to receive a message, and that which your heart has always desired."
Oh, alrighty.
In your head, so nobody else hears this bit, so close your eyes or something so you don't see it. You hear a voice say, "My servant, hear me well. Although our lands have suffered a great calamity brought on by hubris, this land is about to suffer through a calamity it may never recover from. Go forth to the city before you, honor Beer by name, and learn of these people. Seek knowledge and eventually break the curse which will befall these lands should you fail. Know that in this way you serve not only me, but the universe. And you know that the name of the entity that has spoken to you is Reorx, and that he is your god. And everybody that would have clerical powers feels a surge through them as what was once locked from you is opened, and you have access to your power. And you all level to level 2.
Ooh.
You okay, Forge Hands?
Baron looks like he's like kind of creased his eyebrows a little bit, and then after he, gets the full haft of this message, he'll just close his eyes and sigh and just Yeah, I'm alright. Nothing's changed. I'm still on a mission from God.
Right.
No, he's real now. Didn't know that before. I just figured.
You also can. I'll get a perception check from everybody, except for Baron.
The DM, with me being a paladin, would any of my powers come online since they're
Well,
divine in nature? Or
You.
No, yikes.
Yes, and you just level to level 2, so. Get spells at level 2, don't you?
Ranger.
Not sure.
spells?
I'm
Or-
more speaking towards like lay on hands and stuff like that.
Yeah. All of that becomes open to you. You don't hear
Comes
a
online?
voice,
Okay.
but you know that you feel the power surge through you.
Okay. Here, rolling perception. 21.
Alright, so Magnus doesn't, mainly because he's so, just caught up in this whole the gods aren't real thing that he's just not paying attention. Finley also doesn't because he's looking around at this place and sizing everything up. But Tobith and Ulrich both noticed. Tobith because he's a kleptomaniac and he would notice these sorts of things. And Ulrich because he has also felt this surge, a medallion around Baron's neck that wasn't there before, which is a chain with a circle on it and an anvil in the middle of it. And now I'm going to get you both to roll a history check as well.
By the way, I'm not a kleptomaniac. I'm just a maniac.
All right, neither of you know who the thing is there, but you get Tobith. You get the feeling that it's something to do with the god, because he just said that the god's real now, and that he's talking to him. So you make that connection. Ulrich, you just know he's wearing a medallion,
Right.
but you don't know.
I can relate to talking to yourself. Tobith can relate to people talking to themselves.
Alright, I'm going to try and find.
Fancy bit of neck sparkle you got there now, Forge Hands. What's that?
I don't rightly know. I'm gonna look down at it.
You do rightly
Are you
know
all right?
it is the symbol of Reorx. You have seen it before because you
somewhere else for whatever.
you grew up with tales of deity.
Never mind, I do know where it's from. It's from the god Ryorks. I've seen it before.
So it's a Reorx thing then. Does it come with powers? A secret handshake? Loyalty card?
You have no idea what the loyalty
let me
card
see.
is, by the way, there, Baron. He's just said loyalty card, and you're like, loyalty card? What? What is this strange thing?
I'm gonna concentrate and try and use something magically.
Alright. What are we doing?
I'm gonna roll a d6 to see which cantrip I cast. He concentrates really hard, and you see both of his fists flash silver and turn to iron.
There you go, guys. You've just seen somebody
Yeah.
who, before, like 5 minutes ago, clerical magic wasn't a thing, and now this guy's fists have gone silver.
Well, I guess I can do that now.
Well, that
Wow, you mean like he must have picked you?
certainly,
I'm gonna
guess
look
so.
at Baron and ask if he's hearing voices too.
I did hear a voice, yes.
Park did. Sorry, not Park. Somebody said something in the background. I think it was actually Finley.
Finley is looking at the silver hands and with raised eyebrows and simply said, "Well, that certainly is a trick." And he's looking over at Baron as well, trying to really figure out what exactly is going on, what's changed.
Well, you find yourself. You can see that. You can see that map there, the little square that I've put out. You're standing next to that windmill.
Oh, did you have a map up? Because I don't see anything. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. You're standing next to the windmill there, and as I said, you can see the city in the distance. Probably about going back to that. Probably about 5 miles away. That's a bit of a walk.
Well, Tobith looks at the fists and says, "Nope, nope. You don't just do that. That's magic. That's not supposed to. Nope, nope. What's going on?"
Yeah, well, I talked to God, and I guess I got his powers now.
You're casting with a god. That's real?
I guess so.
World's just changed, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, and he told me some stuff. He said that, well, for one, this ain't our world. It's different. Two, this place is gonna get messed up pretty bad if we don't intervene. But apparently we can save it. He told me to go forth to the city ahead of us. It's called Onabir.
I'm gonna respond with two things. I don't trust in your god. Magic can come from a lot of different sources, and most of them are corrupt. Two, this isn't the job we signed up for. And I'm gonna look back, and I guess there's no portal behind us anymore.
Oh no, there's nothing there. There's just land.
So I'm looking at Baron and say, I'm with you till I get paid. If we're going to this city, there better be money in it for me.
Well, I mean, I don't think you got any choice, friend. There's no way back, it looks like.
See,
It certainly appears that way, yes. But at least the city isn't far, from what I can tell. 5 miles?
see, Auric, clearly confused about everything that's happened, and sort of mutters to himself, "Has Paladin blessed me?" That's all he says.
Alright. So now you're standing on a hill, you're looking at a city in the distance, and there's a windmill next to you. What are you going to do?
I go into the windmill because I thought we saw a figure in it.
Sorry?
Agnes.
Yeah, Tobith,
Well,
I think you're open and you're getting repeating from yours.
Sorry about that.
No, it was Tobith. Not, Magnus,
Right.
what were you saying first?
So I'm gonna go into the windmill and trying to climb up the windmill because I thought we saw a cloaked figure in there. Or am I wrong?
You think you saw something, but you're not sure. But you go up to the windmill, and there's a big stone in front of the door, and you can't work out how to open it. There's no way to get in there right now.
Turn to Baron. Well, you said it's to the city. You lead the way. We got your back.
Alrighty. Sounds good. I figure if nothing else, maybe I can set up a stall or something. And make some items and sell them, just to get a footing in here.
No other direction but forward. If you go.
Yep.
Alright, so you walk down to the
Right.
city. I'm not actually 100% sure how long it would take to walk 5 miles because I think in kilometers, but it takes as long as it takes to walk 5 miles. Um, it's probably about mid-afternoon by the time you get down there. It's a good time, mid-afternoon. As you do, you notice a few things. You notice that this land is very, very green. Not dissimilar to the part of Kryn that you were from, some of you. But you also notice that there's a flow of people coming in and out of the city, and that this flow of people is quite diverse compared to what you're used to. Most of you are human or kender or dwarf, so you accepted races in this particular time in Kryn. You would know that Kryn is not the most accepting when it comes to being different. A lot of elves and half elves tend to hide who they are, but here everyone's on display. There's half orcs, there's half elves, there's gnomes, dwarves, there's dragonborn, which you would never have seen before. So you're just all like, "What is this dragon guy? What is going on here?" Like you're pretty shell shocked by this, just the cacophony of different people that is here. You make your way to a gate of the city, which the guards, they're not really stopping anybody from coming in. They're just kind of standing there and directing. And when you look at them, they say, "Welcome to Honored Biz Crown Gate. Through here, you'll find the Coin District, uh, and from there." You should find lodgings if that's what if you're seeking. He kind of looks you over and sees that you're a bit beaten up and whatnot, and says, "Run into a bit of trouble on the road, did we?"
Could see that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anything that we need to be aware of? Any impending problems in this city and its surrounds?
Yeah, we came through like a big evil floating eye thing.
I'm gonna put my hand on your chest to stop you from saying that out loud too much. But I will describe the branding in the person and ask if he recognizes the symbol.
Ending? I don't know anything about that. Doesn't sound familiar at all. But you never know. There's all these cults around, isn't there? There's always some lunatic that wants to, you know, get you to worship the oogie boogie foogie foogies. It's like everybody knows that the gods don't have names. It's bloody foolish, isn't it? The gods are ideas. They're concepts. They're not actual like guys that walk around doing stuff. I myself,
Wow.
don't mind saying that I'm going to go and find the opening stuff for the adventure so I can check stuff properly because I've forgotten what I was going to look at.
Well, I lean in slightly to the guard and say, "We're new here, not here to cause trouble. Mostly just following gods and visions and a scent of pie. But if there's any of the magistrates or people who are allergic to weirdness rather, they better keep an eye on us just in case."
He's going to look down his eye and nose at you and finish his sentence as I was going to say. And, I worship, as most of us guards do, strength. That's my god. He looks at Baron and he's like, clearly you'd be the follower of the god of competence. All of you kind of blacksmiths and stuff tend to follow, The will of the efficient master. And,
Yeah, that might be a name for him. Yeah.
well,
Never heard of it, but yeah.
as I said, names, they're not names, they're ideas, aren't they? Yeah, gods. You get the feeling from this conversation, and like even you, Magnus, that gods are fairly accepted in this realm as existing, but that they are, as he has said, concepts rather than there's no paladine or anything like that. There's just the concept of gods. They're spheres of influence, if you will. He waves
Yeah.
you through.
Oh.
He looks at Tobith like, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this guy. He's nuts. And
Tobith
I'm gonna
waves.
look at Tobith and say, try to blend in. Just at least a little bit.
Okay, and I try and stand taller.
all right, so you find yourself.
I'm gonna
Sorry, you find yourself in the city, in what is being termed the coin district here. Now, having a flick. I made this as all separate books because it was too big for like one book. Which is great, except sometimes when you want to load things, it makes it a little bit harder.
trying to keep an eye out on everybody to figure out what the currency is here.
Coin district sounds perfect.
Well, actually, on that, you all feel odd around your coin purses, and I would say that Tovith by this point would definitely have looked in his coin purse, and instead of steel coins that you were used to, they've now turned gold. So you now have the same amount of gold that you had steel previously.
Hope this is useful for anything.
They're also printed with uh, a strange head. Like, okay, where history districts book. So I wasn't actually sure we'd get this far. So, Kingdom of Valerion, ecology, religions, social structure, economy. There we go. So.
Well, Tobith will check out one of the coins and say, well, I guess we're going to call you Sir Shiny the Unexplainable.
Well, your coins look something like this.
Hmm.
Now, the strange queen's head on them. Do you have any? Does anybody have any silver or copper? Like
Yeah, I've
in
got
I
there.
believe I did.
No.
Copper
No, I got,
coins
actually, yeah, I got copper.
look like this. They have a hole in the middle of them. A smaller, and silver, if you've got any, are actually square. Have a ship on them.
Hmm.
Just like whatever was on our person, just kind of changes to this.
Yes. So where you before would have had steel coins of varying sizes, you now have these coins, which seem to have been changed to match the current coins.
All looks visibly confused. He's also looking around to see if he can find anything familiar, like any outposts the knights may have here. Which
You don't
player-wise, I know it's going to be a no, but
you don't notice anything. Well, not in this district anyway. So basically, this is the merchants district. Uh, so you see the river that winds through it. You would have gone over the bridge to come in through the gate, and you see the river that winds through it on your right-hand side as you walk through. And on the left, you can see buildings of various. You'd recognise these as kind of shops and whatnot. And You know that the bridge, because it's was impressive and people had mentioned it as you were walking, was called the Crossing of 1,000 Lanterns. Though they didn't actually tell you why it's called that. That's just what the bridge is named. And as you've come in through the front gate, you see a sign on the shop before you, which is ping. How do I ping again? I got to hold it down, don't I? There. That says totally local.
I'm gonna look at everybody and say, "This is gonna say all news is found at a tavern."
No, it's not a tavern.
More
As,
suggesting we should find a tavern.
you should find a tavern. Well, as you stand at the front of this building, and again, I'm gonna add to map again. Baron's just for ease, not because you know. You see standing out front of there a dwarf, but he's a little bit different. He's dressed in very, very fancy clothing with a ruffled neck and obviously pays a little bit of attention to himself. And he is reciting poetry. But very bad poetry. Not quite limericks, but just like, "Oh blue, why dost thou shine so?" What is he doing? Like, he's a poet, but he's not very good. As he sees you, he says, "Oh, good morrow, dear friends. After a guided tour of the city, I
And who are you exactly?
oh, Bandolier, word splash a stone shield at your service. I am a poet of some renown in these parts. Maybe you've heard of me?"
Well met, Jin. And Baron's just gonna like pull him into a hug without like prompting. Just
He's like,
big bear hug.
Okay. Yes. Hug. Okay. Thank you. That was very lovely. Um, please don't do that again.
Probably like brushing blood onto him by accident, like from
Like,
the like
like
recent wounds.
It's like, I don't know how to be subtle about this, my friend, but you smell terrible. You smell like you've been in a fight or a forge or a fight in a forge or something like that.
Well, yes.
Well, I might suggest that you bathe just for the, you know, for the common folk
You
to help
happen
them.
to know where the closest inn would be?
Do I happen to know where the closest inn would be? Of course I do. So well, I just did say I give guided tours of the city, so that is kind of my shtick, if you will. Really depends on what you're looking for. You were looking for
As
somewhere
you point,
quiet? Are you looking for somewhere rowdy? Are you looking for somewhere quite rowdy?
uh, as you quite pointed out, my friend could probably use cleaning up.
Well, look,
Where would be the place to do that?
one really can't go past the one that I. There we go. The Lucky Leap. It is in the North District, so it is a little bit of a travel, and good old Rishio Tane there is a bit of a something of a past rogue, if you will. But he runs a fine establishment that's good probably for all manner of clientele. Uh, and definitely has a bathroom that you could bathe in, and it's fairly well priced for the discerning adventurer, if you will, and you get the last as a little bit of a dig at you being poor, basically.
The bathroom's well priced.
The inn is well priced. The bedrooms and the ale and the food.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
I don't know how well he prices the bathroom at all. There are bathing houses, of course, which I can't remember where they are.
I'm gonna ask him what's the price of a tour.
Price of a tour. Well, I mean, I would recommend the bathing first, but I am happy, of course, to give you a tour at any time. Just it's just 2 gold a head.
Looking at the strange coins, 2 gold. That seems steep for your services.
Maybe some other time. I look towards my companions. Like, perhaps we should just go to whatever inn he mentioned and rest, get our bearings straight, and figure out what's going on here.
Like quite.
I
So
think I'm with him on that.
if you travel down this road, this is the Riverside Promenade you find yourself on, which should be self-explanatory. That it's on the riverside. And so if you continue on the river, so if you find yourself not on the riverside, then you're not on the Riverside Promenade anymore. So continue down the Riverside Promenade for some way. You're going to go through the High District, which is where all of the well-to-do people live. They will probably let you through those gates. They may not actually. No, not in your current state. Sorry, I do apologize. In your current state, they would probably think you're vagabonds and tell you to, well, piss off. So what you're going to want to do is continue up the Riverside Promenade here until you come to another major road and go left and then follow that one around all the way until you come almost back to the Riverside Promenade again on the other side. You can see the walled part, and you can, if you look ahead of you, you can see like a central walled part of the city. And some towers coming up above that. And so if you come around, all the way around, you'll find the inn you're looking for is the second last building on the right hand side before you get back to the river.
Well, a bath does sound great. Do they have soap that judges you less there?
Judges you less than what?
Than you, Sir Splashiverse.
Well, I never. I do not judge the common man. I'm, a champion of the common man.
Your
Yeah.
words say something else, but all right.
He says, "Look,
Well, I'm
I
up
do,
for exploring. Let's go.
I do apologize if you've taken me wrong, and I do. Look, once you've showered and done all of the things that you need to do, come back and see me, and I will give you that guided. Look, 1 gold each for the guided tour. Just a special price for my new friends to apologize for any misunderstandings we may have had."
Yes,
It
thank you.
seems more reasonable a price, but we'll see if we need your services after our bath.
Very good, very good.
Can Finley do an insight check on this guy?
Yep, of course you can.
He's squinting really hard at him.
Uh,
14.
you get the feeling that the special price he's given you is the normal price, and that the previous price he gave you was the here come a couple of rubes price.
The tourist price.
Of
Yeah.
course. Finley's eyes narrow even further at him, shooting daggers silently at this man before he looks to his companions and says, I get the sense that he just gave us his usual price. I think we'd best be off.
He overhears you
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, all right. I can see that you are a man of discerning tastes, if not in clothing. Uh, so for you, my good sir, 50 silver each. It is my very special price to show you around the city, uh, and to ask your forgiveness for, you know what it's like. The tourists, they come in, they want to see the city, so you take a little bit of creative license and you know get paid extra."
Right.
I'll even
We shall see.
I'll even throw in for you one of my handcrafted poems.
And Finley is just not even gonna grace that with a response. He's just gonna look to his companions, just like, "Shall we get moving? I'd like to get moving."
I don't think I can
time is
handle it.
wasted enough.
Yes, let's go. I'd start walking towards the direction he gave us.
All right. So he said you come down to
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You come up to this bridge that goes to your right and a road that goes to your left, which is called Short Road. Has a sign that says Short Road. But seems to be, from what he described, quite long.
Oric will look at Finley and he'll say, "That was the most unusual dwarf I've ever met. Have you encountered a dwarf such as that one before? Not the typical one, I suppose."
Baron, give me a history.
Alrighty. Um,
Battery
where are
30%.
decent at these?
What's up?
So 12.
Yes, you have met similar, not exactly like this, but being that you are from Thorbadan originally, you would have had like counselors that affected a fairly similar air, an air of like aristocracy and self-absorption. Most dwarves from where you're from aren't really fond of them because most dwarves are let's get the job done rather than let's
Yeah.
talk about poetry and how awesome we are in these fancy clothes. So walking up this road, you come to this point here, and up directly ahead of you is a road called Skeleton Road. Um, and he had said to stay on this road. So if you follow it around, you notice many buildings, lots of cool stuff. To your left, you see a place that's has a sign on the roadside here that says Monster Menagerie, and you realize it's uh, uh, some sort of like monster or animal sanctuary sort of thing. None of you would have heard of a zoo before, I'm assuming, being from Kryn. I don't think it's a particularly big thing there, but in essence, that's what it is. Um, you can hear the sounds of chittering and cheeping and howling and growling and all sorts of things. As you move up further, you come across another sign here that says Temple of Nature. And it looks like a kind of open sort of sanctuary of trees and benches and bushes and all sorts of stuff. As you move further down, see a sign in the distance that says Garden of the Sleepers. and it's a cemetery. But it looks like a really like I'm trying to think where. I'd say like the main cemetery in Melbourne if it was in Australia, but like sort of cemetery where it's all mausoleums, like, and they're all made of marble, and you know that rich people are buried here. There's probably glass coffins and whatnot. Moving further down. Now you are moving through crowds of people here. Like this is not a small city, and it is very very highly populated. So you're seeing lots of different people walking back and forth as you go. That I want that. There we go. You see a sign on the building right here that says Silver Scale. This money lenders. And has some like a board of rates of return and stuff like that, and like apart maybe Baron. Baron, if you can give me a history check.
Yeah.
Actually, I do Elric as well,
18.
please.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so you have seen similar in Haven, Baron, when you were there. Shops where they would lend out money to people to buy things and then expect them to pay it back with extra money um, on top. So you know that in Haven, these people don't have particularly good reputations, as they often employ thugs and other individuals to break the knees of anybody that doesn't pay back at a specific time. And
Yeah. Just
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make up. I'm gonna make up a couple of tables during the week, Tobith, and they're gonna be specifically for you when moving through
Sounds
crowds.
good.
And it's gonna be like, what did you find in somebody's pockets tables? Um,
Perfect.
you move to
Always
here,
fun.
and you finally see what you were looking for: an inn called the Lucky Leap, which I will find because I'm doing this outside of the book at the moment, so I'm kind of having to find these. Oh, there's a few versions of this. Yeah, you got the right one on the first go. Alright, so you enter this inn, which I'm going to try and give you what you see here beforehand. There we go. Coming on towards evening now, it's getting pretty late, and you see this building before you. For some reason people are dancing out the front of it. Not sure why, but they are.
And puking outside.
Yeah, well, you do see the one guy just all over the wall on the side there, yep. And somebody getting booted out the door as you walk up. It looks like a fairly well-made, and it's, as the guy said, it looks like something that's definitely in your price range at the moment. You're not really well off right now. You're just, and you don't really understand the coinage either. So you enter the inn, And I'm not going to bother with patrons right now because we're not really there. And that. All right. All characters in there. So you pull up a table, and when you talk to the inn's owner, Ricio Tane, who is serving behind the bar as you speak, he mentions that he's not sure why Wordsplasher had mentioned that he has baths because he does not. He's not that sort of inn. But that for this one time he would sort you out with something in order to get yourself cleaned up as part of staying the night. So he serves you all a meal. He actually ushers you to a private booth once you've done your ablutions, got yourself sorted. And you get served a nice meal of what the day's stew and nice some ales each. And he sizes you up because this is what he's like, an old rogue and quite a judge of character. And he says, "Look, I could tell that you lot ain't from around here." And he holds up a hand as you start to talk. He's like, "That's not a problem. Just know that there's a few things in town that we could use some help with, and you all look like fairly competent adventurers, mercenaries, whatever and whatnot." Started raining really heavily here, and
I am no mercenary. I am a knight.
he looks at you and goes, "You look like one of those knights. We though I don't recognise the pattern on your armour there. That's I mean it's nice, the roses and whatnot, but I'd say you're not a member of any order I've heard of." He says, "But you know, my good friend is a knight. So at some point I might even be able to introduce you to Lord Monda. He's a dwarven knight, actually. He's one of your brethren there," pointing at Baron.
Good to know.
This comes to you as a little bit of a shock, Ulrich, because you would know that only humans can be knights, and yet here's this guy telling you that there's a dwarven knight.
Yeah, I'm looking at him with an absurd face because everybody's heard of the Knights of Salamina, especially the Knights of the Rose. So this guy's full of shit.
So he leans into you and says, "Look, word of advice to you: spend a few days getting familiar with the city, help a few people out here and there, get your feet under you, and then come back and see me, because I can tell you that at this time everything may seem hunky-dory, but at this time we could use allies, and having people that aren't familiar with the place might actually be beneficial. So tonight's meals, the room, they're on me. After that you can pay. But feel free, and I would go back. You went and saw that blowhard at the gates. word splasher. Look, he's a terrible poet. He couldn't string a sentence together to save his life, but he thinks he's great. He is, however, a member of the minstrels. So, like, he's well connected and he knows his way around the city. Look, tell him Ricio sent you back and said to give them the proper tour, and that if he can see his way to maybe giving you a little bit more of a discount, I'll sort it out with him next time he's down. But he'll get you around the city. He'll show you where all the proper sites, all the good places to go, and some of the places that you probably shouldn't go as well. So that would be my suggestion. Not that I'm telling you what to do. You're quite capable of doing your own thing here, guys. And look, have a good night. Have a couple of ales. Have a good rest, and see how you feel in the morning. And with that, he walks away and goes back behind the bar and does what all bartenders do and starts polishing a mug that looks like it's never seen hot water.
I look at everybody else.
Alric!
How far were we transported? He's never heard of a Knight of Salamina. I find that preposterous.
Like a dwarven knight? The world's officially sideways. Like, what's next? Kender diplomats?
Yes, that too. I look at Baron I'm like, where? Do you know where we are?
Well, I mean, God did say that we were somewhere else. Could I roll a religion check potentially to like pray like, hey, what is this place called?
All right. Yep.
Oh,
Give me
God,
a
what's up?
religion.
Okay.
20, mod 20.
All right. So you don't hear any words this time, but you see a little vision comes to you, and basically you see a world that you recognize as Kryn. You start from where you were on Kryn, and you pull up. You're suddenly floating up into the sky, and you can see all of Abernathyia, and then Salamnia, Ergoth, all of those, and then the entire continents, and back further, and you end up out in space, and you're looking down at the ball of your planet. And then you go out further still, and you see the galaxy that your planet is in, and you can still see just this like little pinpoint flash that's your planet. Like your eyes kept on that. And then as you get further out, you see another pinpoint flash, and it's far, far, far away. Like so far away that there would be no way to measure the distance. Like you have no comprehension of the sort of distance this would be.
Yeah.
And then you start to go back in. And this one's a lot quicker than the out. And you get closer and closer, and suddenly you're in a galaxy, you're in a solar system, there's a planet, and you're coming through the clouds, and then you're hovering over Oathbreaker. And you realize from this that you're on a completely different planet that is so far away from Kryn as to be just, you don't know if there's any way you'll ever get home. Like, this is so beyond the scope of everything for you.
I'll kind of blink, kind of looking as if I just got like socked in the nose. Yeah, we're different planet, different universe.
I beg your pardon?
Planet?
Yeah, I prayed just a little bit just to see what if I could, get a little bit of information, and I got sent on a vision quest, and I zoomed out of Kryn. We're not on Kryn, nowhere near it. May as well just not exist. And we're somewhere else. And this
That's
place is way further away than I can comprehend.
that sounds terribly improbable. Not to mention impossible.
I agree.
Well, I'm telling you how it is. Believe me or don't, we're still stuck here.
Okay. Well, first question: are sandwiches the same here?
Well, we're eating, so I assume probably got sandwiches.
Okay. Second, how did the ice slurp us through a cosmic drain pipe?
That's probably a
Well,
pretty good theory, honestly.
I mean, we stepped through an eye, so the impossible seems pretty possible at this point. All right, heads is tails, and to the arms or legs. I don't know. You tell me.
Alright, I'm gonna get everybody to give me an intelligence check. But this is gonna require a really, really super high roll.
Probably not me.
Nope.
Never
Yeah, eight
mind.
checks out. Checks out. Checks out. 8 for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So none of you really you like yeah, this eye was some sort of tunnel that came to here. You know, if you'd rolled higher, it was going to be some sort of the passing the event horizon of a stable wormhole. But you know, nobody's got that, so no, you don't know what the hell's going on there.
Well, Tobith does think to himself that, Belty, if you're in this world too, I swear I'm going to hug you and yell at you.
Magnus is going to pipe up and say, the distance we travel doesn't matter. Every new town's the same. Ricio was right. We stick together, make a few allies. Day by day, we'll figure out what the bloody is going on. And eventually, we'll figure out how to get back.
All right, so your evening passes. Patrons come in and out of the inn. The air, the atmosphere is jovial in the most part. Um, Singing, some dancing, all the usual things that people do when they get too drunk to think that maybe I shouldn't do that. And then as the night progresses, you get led to a common room. The inn doesn't have any rooms as such, but does have a nice little common room which Ricio has kindly agreed to let you guys use for the night.
So, Magnus, like, you saying that we're in just like any other town, that's like cray. We stepped through a blinking eyeball, maybe insulted a god. Now we're in some place where like dwarves are knights, and it doesn't matter if I'm a tiefling or a kender or a half rabble with a banjo. What the heck? We're not in still a town. Wonder your glaive's always angry.
This is a town. This has people. I don't see the difference.
Yeah,
Distance
well,
doesn't matter. How we get home matters. We figure that out day by day.
yeah, all towns are the same. So are all rocks, yet some of them must get named by us.
You talk too much, Tobith.
Tobit curls into a ball and has a nap. He's still kind of sore after the last battle.
Yep, so everyone has a magical sleep and all their wounds heal.
Yippee!
Everyone can take a long rest. And if you have not now in between sessions level up to level 2, I will finish there, which is a little bit earlier, but we'll go over some like bookkeeping and stuff for it. So as I said, I'm gonna do the tables up. I'll try and work this out. Tables up for you, Tobith, because you've got a Kenda. If you're a Kenda, you got a Kenda. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Thanks.
I don't know if I'd gone into detail with how I was going to cover injury and stuff like that in this.
Did a little bit.
Yeah, I do
Um,
believe it came up. But, yeah.
If you fell too many times in a battle, there'd be residual effects, etc.
Well, there's meant to be anyway. If you fail a couple of times, you're meant to take a injury. But the problem with injuries is that they're just so, like, I sleep. Oh, my injury's better. Like, you lost an eye, man. Like, yeah, no, I got better. I'm okay now. And I was contemplating how to do it, and I've come up with what I think is a fair way to do it. So you first down in a battle, you just go down. You're all good. Second down in a battle, and from that point on, you roll a con save, and the DC for the con save is 8 plus however many hit points over 0 you took. If you fail the con save, just fail it, you take a minor injury. It might be a muscle tear or a bruised rib or something like that. If you fail your save by 5 or more, you take a permanent injury. All of them,
I see.
minor and permanent, will have ways to heal them, specific ways. It's usually just like 2 or 3 medicine checks or that sort of thing, or 3 days of not using it as much. And even the major ones, which are like losing an arm or something like that, will have ways to fix them. You shouldn't end up with too many high rolls for it this way. If it doesn't work, then I'll revisit it and I'll go, oh, well, that's not actually working. That's just making the game hard to play. But I just wanted to give a try at seeing if that is something that can make combat a little bit more impactful.
Like it.
The same with what I think I already mentioned it, but I'll mention it again because I think it was in the session 0. If you decide to use the help action or spend your turn healing somebody or giving a potion to somebody that's downed and they're right next to an enemy, I'm gonna count that as opportunity for the enemy because I just really don't see how anybody's like the orc has stabbed Baron and Baron's fallen down, and now Finley walks over and pours a potion into Baron's mouth in front of the orc, and the orc just sits there and goes, "Oh, that's fine. I'm just gonna let you pour that potion down that guy's throat." Clearly, like this is fine. Like,
Yeah,
no, he's not going to do that. He's going to smack you in the back of the head with his sword. Like, come on. I did hear on my other
A lot to chop.
I did hear on my other table that not my group, but another group had apparently using 2024 rules had been the whole party had been killed just because of a couple of bad rolls. So it looks like 2024 gets a little bit more brutal on some stuff.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it had been more homogenized, not the other way around. Was there
I want the way
anything
of shadow.
tonight that we'll do this? We're going to do this at the end of each session. It's something from the other ones I do. So if my DM from that one's watching, yes, I've stolen your thing. Stars and wishes we're going to do. So things that you thought were great about tonight, and things that you might want to see in sessions.
One star I would say is just letting us have time to role play. That's great. I've really enjoyed that. That's a really good element of everything, of how it's going.
I'm a big fan myself, so it only makes sense that I'd want everyone else to do it too. I mean, I'd play 100% roleplay if I could, but that's not feasible.
Yeah, definitely a highlight for me as well. I enjoy the opportunity to roleplay and explore character and the world.
It's gonna flick to me on the thing because we're done with that now. Yeah, like I mean, I want that throughout the whole thing, and I don't think none of you are in a rush to be like finished this double campaign by the end of next month or something, are you?
Probably not.
No.
Certainly not. Yeah, no.
I mean, I foresee the possibility even of out leveling your characters at some point. I mean, like I'm open to that as being what happens if it happens, and I'll adjust things to accommodate for that. I won't be bringing in other characters from Kryn clearly because that would just be silly. But like I just thought this one shot was a good way to kind of wrinkle everybody in, and you don't know that much. You're gonna actually have to find out about the world and how it works, and not just be like, oh yeah, well, I grew up here and I know where everyone is, and like, oh yeah, that's my friend Dave, and we did that thing, and I guess you're gonna have to explore to find out the lore of this land to help with what's coming. Um, I am also going to steal another thing from other DM, which is he does a thing. I'm happy to do inspiration when I see something happen as well, but he uses an MVP thing at the end of the thing where you guys actually vote for somebody to have inspiration based on something you thought they did during the thing that was awesome or whatever. And yeah, you can vote for yourself if you want, but I will look at you disapprovingly when you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I enjoyed how Baron was able to have his transition to finding his God and how he dealt with that well. I thought he did really well with that.
Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Anything else?
While Magnus found it annoying, Tobias did a great job with his speaking and being very punny and creative with his text and his characters shining through. So I appreciate that, Tobias. Tobith, sorry.
Tobith.
And see, he was so annoyed.
My bad,
Your
my
name's
bad.
Tobias now.
Oh dear.
Hello, Tobias. Groan. No, I thought you played a great Kender. It's on point.
Yeah, I'd agree. So
I will commend Tobith purely for naming the rocks, different names.
yes,
Phenomenal.
that was
I
awesome.
was chuckling to
Yes,
myself
yeah.
each time.
Clever.
There's a reason. You'll find out eventually.
And that makes it even better.
Yeah, I was gonna say vote for Tobit as well. But definitely enjoyed the little quips and then the kind of almost pouting at the end of there.
Overall, I'll say that I actually kind of needed it, or because now with how my work life kind of shifted, all of a sudden I had to start working some working nights. So like I'm on like 12-hour shifts, but only like 3 days at a time. So Sunday's still wide open, so it will never be a problem for me to attend.
Cool.
Where I'm getting at is this is much needed for my sanity. That makes
I know what you mean. Well, I thought it was great, and I really liked how everyone jumped into the role play tonight and like got into their characters. In a way, I think having that little gap before we started probably made that a bit easier because everyone got a chance to really think about their characters and how they work and what their motivations are and that sort of thing. And you'll find that will evolve a bit, and that's fine. So next Monday we will kick off session 2. And again, it's up to you what you do. Rishio's suggestion is to go back to Word Splasher and get the tour of the city. which is possibly a good idea. But in the end, if you want, you would run to the end boss, and we'll try and do that next week. I'm not railroading you in on any of that stuff.
No, it's a big. Looks like it's a big city. Lots of places to explore.
Oh yeah.
Definitely is. They did a really good job in designing these places to actually work. As I said, there's a privy in this inn. If you are gonna turn me off again, there we go. Wrong one. That one.
Love it. Beautiful maps. My God.
Yeah.
Great.
So, toilet with holes in the ground. I'm not sure that the torch burning in the toilet would be the greatest of ideas, but whatever. All right, we will call it there. Thank you everyone for playing. I had a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing it again next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after.
Thanks for putting it all together for us, Daryl.
That's all right. There will be
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
there will be a Monday that I won't be able to play. I can't remember when that. I'll have to look at that, but it's a couple of months away at least. Because I will be driving home from a thing and won't be here in time to play. But apart from that, I think just about every Monday from now on should be fine.
Fantastic.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
Yep.
Good
Sounds
night.
great to me. Yeah, have a good
Thanks
night.
for playing.
Yeah,
Good night.
rest of your
Great
day.
playing with everybody.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
See you.
Thank you.
Good night.